Says don't disturb this beat. It's just a way to say that I'm so into you. And feeling so real. Don't disturb this beat. Cause I want to say that I'm so into you. And feeling so real. Don't disturb this beat.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Another beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, it's a beautiful day. A lot of people didn't wake up this morning, but some people don't want to wake up. So I can't be, just leaning to one side. This is episode 174. We are slowly but surely climbing up the charts when it comes to the number of podcasts we are doing. Okay. Before I get to that, I would like y'all to go to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com. You don't even have to do the .com thing. Just go to LR Pod Live. All right. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can get the whole show that's coming up, because I'm about to do a whole bunch of live stuff up there. So I got to touch the audience. That's a better way to do it than, the podcast itself. And also, if you would like to support this podcast, please smack one of those links in the description. So, like always, I got my podcast notes here, and let's see, Patreon. This is my own advertisement. I don't have no sponsors. I got a lot of people that want me to or want to be a sponsor on the show, but I'm just holding back because I don't. In that way, you are still being controlled on what you say and what you talk about, and a lot of stuff that I want to be a little bit free on. I want to be free to roam. And shout out to the Pat Squad. That is the Patreon squad over there. That's behind the wall, and shout out to them. Without them, none of this is possible. One more thing I want to say is, everybody, please get your passports. Okay, get your passports. Go see the world, enjoy life, smoke trees, whatever you do, drink a beer, juice, whatever. But this podcast is somewhat similar in that direction in the things that I want to talk about today. Okay? So just get out there, get out, smell different air in different countries. Even though the air probably ain't the same where you're from, but just smell it. Enjoy it, breathe it in, take the dirt in your hands, and just let the dirt run through your fingers, because their dirt is probably different than our dirt. Wherever you call it from, or wherever you watch it from. I said call it from. But yeah, thank you everybody all over the world. I want to thank people in Africa. I want to thank people in Japan. I want to thank people in Australia, Europe, South America, Mexico. I can keep going on. Thank y'all for listening. I've been rocking out for a minute, and y'all been rocking with me. So, this show is about life-changing situations, life-changing things that happen in people's life that, is happening right now. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen the day after tomorrow. So I wanted to touch on a few things that could possibly get you through these life-changing events that's going to happen. I don't care what you say or how you look at it. It's going to eventually happen. So one thing that sort of got me a little winded up and a little weirded out was the Pentagon was saying that there could be a mothership hiding in our solar system. Now, that's not proof of anything. That's just hearsay or ideas, drawn between scientists and a couple of people that work at the Pentagon. But what if in a small situation or a small clause or whatever, that is true? Or maybe and I always used to say this, that maybe they are preparing us for something of that nature. So if you force feed small drops, you sort of get the people in a direction, and it won't be such a shock that you will have riots and just chaos all over the world, right? So maybe they are forcing little small things on us. Before there used to be tight-lipped about anything they seen. They used to deny Area 51 all the way up into the 90s. They used to deny Area 51 even existed. Even though people had pictures and video of, unmarked airplanes landing and people getting off of it. So it's just crazy to see. Now, I have questions on that, and that's what this show about. The show is about what if, okay, with different, connections to that sentence. So, what if that they came up with proof, some kind of proof, proof of life, or somehow they have video, some kind of video, satellite video, because the James Webb telescope can see a lot of things, right? So just say if they had video of some kind of object that's out there that's not made by nature, and excuse me, it's basically man-made, right? Would that destroy your belief in God, Jesus, or would that affect your religion at some point? Would it be some kind of, shock to you? Because I know a lot of people won't take that well. A lot of people would. A lot of people be excited. A lot of people will question their existence on this planet. So how, and I'm talking to you, whoever's listening, I'm talking to you, and I want you to think about, the things that I'm talking about today. So how would that affect you? Number one, would it affect your religion? Would it pull you away from your religion, or would it make you more religious? Would you, because, I'm not really keen into the Bible like that, I will say, but I do remember a quote from the Bible that we are in God's image, right? If there's another group, which I know they are, if there's another group of individuals that we call, humans or ET or another civilization, we don't know how they look. We don't know if they even have skin and bones. They could be, leather or not leather, plastic and some kind of metal. All right. Would that affect you in any how? Would that affect the way you go about your life? Would that affect, would you go to work? Is there a way to still make money in that kind of lifestyle? Is there a way to still be a part of society and that there is something lurking in our solar system? Now, me being a person in that field, I'm not a scientist or anything, you know that, but you got to look past that. Now, if you're smart enough to look past that, you got to think, okay, if they are stationed and somewhat trying to hide, what are they here for and what do they want? So it's not just, there's somebody, another civilization that just came here and they're outside of our solar system somewhere or hiding. What do they want? What are they looking for? And what are they planning? Because if they did come here, right, in some kind of huge ship, which I hear is about 26 miles long or something like that, they are like, we are like ants and they are like humans. Their technology is way over the top as far as our technology. There is no way to compete. Your little AK-47, it's not going to do nothing. Okay. Nothing we got can do anything. Your little missile that shoot out of a plane. Oh, look at that. That's so sweet. Look at the little missile coming over here so slow. That's not going to do nothing. Your little nuclear annoyance bomb, it's not going to do nothing to these people or whatever they are that traveled here. All right? We didn't even go to the moon. And I'm going to have a podcast on that. I'm going to try to bring a scientist up here for that. If all of a sudden I'm not around anymore, you know the reason. But would you freak out? Because you would probably be like, wow, there is life. I told you there's life on this out there in the universe. I told you, and the science is gonna be like, I told you, everything was the. But then, as that wears off, you gotta be like, okay, what the fuck? What do you want? Now that's the scary part. That's like you in a bed and you somewhere in a vacation spot. You don't have your pistols on. You don't have nothing around. This ain't your house, and you hear somebody breaking in. It's that what if? What's the next stage if these people get in this house? You know, that what if. So what would that news do to a regular individual? What would that news do to already a shaken society that's, going on with different, subjects and Me Too and all of that stuff, right? So what would that do to a fragile planet already? So I think that would be the biggest one on the what if list, because that can change our life. What if they came all the way over here for the salt water? Or even worse, what if they came here for the core of our planet, right? They need the energy from the core of our planet. So that means they need this planet to mine or whatever. It's endless. What if they was here for our blood, just like Water Worlds with Tom Cruise, right? It's endless on that situation. So that is a what if I do not want to see. I would rather that we discover life across the universe and there is no chance of them getting here. We just discover that it's a habitable planet, and it has elements of life in it, right? In the atmosphere, and we can detect that through the atmosphere. But Negroes parked in our solar system hiding, they're not hiding for a reason. And if they got here, and we can't even basically get to a space station that's right there skimming the earth. And they came from a whole nother system. That would be terrifying. Now, what would I do? I would be terrified. That's what I do. Now, would I go to religion? No. It'd be the other direction. Because it would be the flip of whatever religion told you, right? Would I freak out? I don't know. Would I go to work? No. I would definitely be up here more. I don't know. I don't want to find out. So let's go to the next one. Shit. So stress overload is another thing that takes people by storm. Stress overload is the hardest thing to get through life, and it's just that gut feeling in your stomach. Like you can be having a good conversation with somebody, and you can be out partying, having a good time. You over there on the dance floor, you dancing, boom cha, boom cha, boom cha, boom cha. Just dancing, having a good time. You go sit down, and then boom, you like get smacked by, damn, my mortgage is due today, and I ain't getting paid in 2 weeks. Or damn, they emailing me about the late rent. Or damn, I had to take an Uber here because repo is, searching for my car. People is going through that right now. It's hard. It's hard out here. And it's going to get worse with the bank situation. And it's a couple scenarios that I want to throw, the worst of the worst in this situation. So I want to throw this out. So let's say if you had the left hook, right cross, and an uppercut. And that would be, you lose your job, right? Your car break down. Not only your car break down is, but you owe payments on your car. So you paying on a car that's broke. You probably don't have the money because it's a situation where your transmission or something in the engine that costs a lot of money, right? So you get this 1-2 whammy punch, right? And not only that, being that you can't work, being that your car broke down, it's hard for you to get to work. It's costing you more money to get to work, than just taking your car or whatever, right? So it's not you lacking on a couple other bills because the car or getting to work through Uber or whatever, friends or whatever, taking 8 buses is weighing on you. In that note, you get late on your mortgage or your rent. Okay? So you get the 3-punch whammy. You lose your job because of your car. Your car is broke down. So being that you lost your job, you can't pay your car note, and you get evicted from your apartment or your house or whatever. You rent a house or you got a mortgage. That has got to be the worst scenario to go through. And in my life, I probably went through 2 or 3 of them. Probably 2, 1 or 2 of them, not all 3 at the same time. Never been evicted. The car definitely broke down, and I owe payments on it. Definitely broke down. Losing my job, I used to quit. I used to quit when I used to go on break, and I'm like, man, forget this. But that was back in the day. So what would you do in this situation? Right? Would you reset? Would you just reset and try to get everything together? Would you try to get your mind straight? Because this is freak out mode right here, right? Just to step back and be like, okay, if I can rent a car, if I can do Lyft, that's the car and the money, right? Lyft or Uber, right? As far as somewhere to stay, can I get a room? Depending on my situation, do I got kids? Like a reset. You sit back and you draw the plan, right? Would you tap out? Like it's just too much for you. You just snap. Just say, fuck it, I can't do it no more. I just can't do it. I am done. Whether you bang yourself out of here or you just go in a whole nother direction. Do you say, every time I turn on the news, somebody in the banking industry or the rich is stealing from the poor. Shit, I might as well join this. I might as well join it. I might as well get out there, do what I can do to stay afloat. I'm tired of this nice walking in the line shit, going to work, paying my bills, paying taxes, and getting raped at the same time. Right? So, or do you completely snap? Now, homelessness is something that always interested me because what makes a person homeless? If you have family, if you have a life, you can still work, you can still do shit, right? What makes a person to the point that they are sleeping under a bridge? That always got to me because I want to know what fork in the road that this person went down, right? And they just gave up. Now, maybe it's mental issues. Maybe it's something that, I don't know, it was just too much for them. And maybe living under the bridge is free. Maybe asking people for money at the corner, you just stand there a couple of hours. You got something to eat. You can get something to eat. You get something to drink. You probably get whatever you using, right? To calm you. Everybody got a vice. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody got a vice. Some people is porn. Some people is coke. Some people is weed. Some people is sex. Everybody got a vice. So I don't know what it is that these people probably would go through to the point that they will succumb. I'm probably saying all this wrong, politically incorrect, but it seemed like that they will probably succumb to just forget it. This is it. I mean, I'm homeless. It's just what it is. So, and at each of these little scenarios, I give my take. What would I do? Now, stress overload, losing my job, losing a car, breaking down and being convicted all at once or within a month or so. That will really test anybody. So that would be a hard one to really, I don't know, Imagine, and maybe people that, that's doing these life of crime, they probably, I don't know, it's probably something that they have to do to stay alive, to stay on top. So what would I do in that situation? I would probably step back, reset, and try to, get the situation in hand. I would try to at least knock out the first thing. The first thing would probably be, okay, I need money coming in. So find something close to wherever you stand. Now, where you stand if you're evicted? I don't know. Hopefully you have family or something like that. So you will want to at least find a room, a couch, a little hut in the back of somebody's house. I don't know. You find that first, and then you figure out the job. You get the job. Now you're able to pay them, whether it's a light bill or a payment of some kind towards their mortgage or rent, whatever. And now the car. Get something that's easy to work on. I like the go is the Honda. I mean, a Honda is like very easy to work on, whether it's coming to you or a mechanic. You chase brakes. You can, do any minor engine work if you have to. You can change the, belts or water pump. You can do whatever you want, but it's a very, easy car to work on, even if you had to take it to the shop. So it should be a little bit less, and it's reliable. So that's how I would do. I would take a step back, and I would knock out the most important to the least important and get back on top and never look back. I'd be a shark. I would be arrogant. I would be cocky because I just came from the bottom and I'm headed to the top. All right. So that's what I do. But there are situations where there is calm on the horizon of fear. So to the point you can get so scared that you are overwhelmed with calm. Now, anybody that hasn't been through that really don't understand what I'm talking about. But and I have actually something that I went through that I can explain. I don't know if y'all heard of, probably the new people never heard of this airplane situation. So it was a Delta coming back from New Jersey. Hopefully I won't talk too long on this little story right here, but it has a meaning. So coming back from New Jersey, we stayed on the tarmac for about at least an hour. And I'm like, man, just pull back to the gate so we can get off this hot ass plane. They done turned the AC off. We sitting up there. The crazy part, they start offering people alcohol for free. So she walking around giving people nips. I think I took a nip. I don't know, because I know if I drink, anything, I gotta piss. And I was at the window, and you got two people keep getting up. That's not cool. So we finally take off, and we get to probably North Carolina, because, in some of the planes in Delta, you're able to see on the screen where the plane is actually at on the map. So I noticed over in North Carolina, South Carolina, I think it was North Carolina, he kept going in this freaking circle. So I'm just watching this plane go in a circle. I'm like, what is he doing? So he gets on a loudspeaker and say, yeah, there's thunderstorms in the Atlanta area, so we're just gonna, cruise here. And when we get the okay to go, we'll let y'all know. Right? That was his speech or whatever. All right, cool. So then another speech came on, probably at like another 30 minutes. Okay, we have the okay to go into Atlanta and, get ready for whatever, right? Seatbelt sign still on, whatever. So we head over to Atlanta. I'm in the window seat, mind. So as we get to the Atlanta airport, we start to descend into the clouds, which is very beautiful. I might say I've never been into a cloud that had thunder going through it. Lightning, I'm sorry. Lightning is beautiful. It's like cotton with streams of light pushed against the window. It was very beautiful. And I'm just watching. Oh, look at this. This is so beautiful. My phone was about to die, so I couldn't really take no pictures. I mean, it was already red. So all of a sudden, it gets a little right. Shake. Okay. All right. I've been through turbulence before. You hear the thunder. You hear the lightning. You see the lightning. it's caddying across the lights of the clouds. It's beautiful, man. The most beautiful shit I've ever seen in my life. All of a sudden, the plane drops. Boom, it's like, I don't know, we hit a pocket of no air. I can't explain it, but it's just a plane dropped and then it caught air. Boom. I said, okay, that wasn't cool. Then the plane started rocking side to side. Mind you, I'm right by the engine. Engine is screaming. Now, there was a guy next to me. Say middle-aged white guy. I think he was older than me. He had a suit on. Mind, this was during the week. So, and you know, that means that he probably flew a lot, business or something like that. And it was everybody else. I'm going off the people that's near me. I'm looking at their faces. No change in their face. Guy next to me, no change. Next thing you know, the plane is going left and it's right, like he's fighting to keep it straight. All right? The plane is just started shaking rapidly, like it was just going through the worst turbulence. Then I thought about it. Hold up, did he just fly through a thunderstorm? Right? So now I lean my head back and it's going crazy. I'm going side to side as he is trying to stop this plane from bellying up. And I got so scared, right? The guy next to me starts weeping. The professionals dressed up in a 3-piece suit like he's he do this for his job, just fly places. I don't know, fucking salesman or something. I don't know. Kids start screaming. Women start screaming. I look over, everybody that was just kikiing and talking, their head is in their lap. They holding each other. And I said, holy shit, this plane about to break up. So, as it got worse and worse, and you hear the engines screaming in this plane, like just the screaming, and I'm like, whoa, this is it. So, I start thinking like, wow, that's not what I wanted to go. I didn't want to go like this, but I have no control in this situation. So I just started thinking about the news, what the news would say. The family that was waiting for me to get off the plane, right? I started thinking about everything, but also I'm waiting for that free fall feeling because I knew that one of the wings was going to snap off the plane. That's how crazy the turbulence was. It was like not just bubble turbulence. It was like dropping like feet and then slamming to air. Pockets of air with no air in it. To this day, I don't know how the hell that happened. So, I just, a calm came over me. It just came over me. And I started to smile. And homeboy next to me is freaking weeping. And I said, all right, well, cool. If this is it, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. So I got calm, put my head back, and I'm just looking at the ceiling of the airplane, and I'm just like, all right, cool. We going left, right, damn near rolling over, dropping, rising, dropping. Engine sound like it's cutting off and cutting back on. I'm like, cool, let's get it. I had a good life. It was fun. All of a sudden, he broke through the clouds, and he said, prepare for landing or some shit like that. And it was still windy and raining. And I'm like, holy shit. Landed, everybody started clapping when he landed. People rubbing his eyes. And I'm just sitting there like, wow. You know, got off the airplane like normal. Walked up to the top and seen my wife and the kids in the car. Hey, Dad, how was your trip? And then my wife said, hey, how was your trip? How was your flight? And boy, all of that shit came out. Just everything that backed up emotion came out. And I started punching the dashboard. And then, you know, that's when I lost it right there. But the story of that, basically saying that through that calmness, through that fear that I had, I was ready to go. So the moral of the story of that is, and that'll swing right into this last one that I got here. You don't control none of this shit. You don't control your destiny. You think you do, but you don't. Your destiny is already written out for you. And all you can do is, hold on for the ride and never worry about nothing you can't control. And that's basically that. So another thing is, life is good, and success is abundance. It's an abundance in your life. And one day you're not feeling good, coughing or something. It's a cold that you can't get rid of, or a pain in your thigh that, something light. It's probably you sitting all day at work or whatever. Mind you, everything good. Your bills paid, your house paid. Life is good. You got trips planned, and all of a sudden you go to the hospital just for something minor, you think. And they say, sorry, but you have cancer. You're like, okay, so what's the process? And they say, well, you are at stage 4 or something like that. So now, boom, a brick wall is upon you in your life, right? So on this little section of what if you had cancer, would you tell your family the news? You leaving the doctor's office to figure out your process, and today they tell you straight up, okay, listen, we calculate about this time that you have. You could do chemo, but it's just to give you it's not really going to help. So it's just going to slow you down. You can either continue your life until that time or whatever. I don't know what they say. I've never been in that situation or know anybody personally in that situation. So would you tell your family? Would you tell your wife? Would you tell your husband? Would you tell your children? Would you tell your friends? Would you tell your job? And that's very important that people don't think about. Do you tell people you have months to live? Do you tell people? Or do you hold that shit in? How was doctor? What they say about your leg? Oh no, it was something light. Yeah, they gave me some medicine. I'm just gonna take the medicine, and they said I should be straight in no time, probably a couple weeks or so, and leave it at that. Do you tell your job? Because guess what? I'm not fucking going to work if that situation happens. So I'm not telling my job. I'll just figure out another way. Would you continue to work? I know I won't, but this question is to you. Will you continue to work? Would you? Huh? Just stuff to think about. If you are giving 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, I don't care. Any month, he could say 12 months. It's not a lot. That's it. So would you travel the world, or would you throw your destiny on chemo, which will basically break your body down and succumb you to traveling? You can't travel. You can't get on a plane. You can't hold down food. If you are cited as a case of no return as far as cancer, how would you continue on in that situation? Or would you isolate yourself and soak in your own tears? Why me? That's messed up. This is not fair. Or would you just go ahead and speed up the process in your own way? Right? So, me in that situation, I don't know. And I'll just leave it at that. And probably y'all don't know what y'all do in this situation either. So, while a lot of things going on in life is good, beautiful, everything is straight, there's always a what if situation lurking. Always. It's always lurking in the background. It don't care if your daughter getting married. It don't care if you getting married yourself. You got a new job coming. It don't matter. It don't care. It doesn't give two flying F's what you got going on in your life. It's ready to lurk. It's ready to rear its ugly head and just, make it whatever it is. But I have a solution to something you can't control. You know what that solution is? For me, I'm not saying it's for you, but maybe it can help, right? If you live now, right? Live in the moment now. Enjoy life now. Don't try to enjoy life when you get bad news. No, enjoy life now. You can enjoy life and pay bills. You can enjoy life and stack money to the goals you want to stack. You can do that simultaneously, right? Because guess what? You will have more time to do it instead of that short period of time when you get the bad news. So, me personally, I want to build my podcast to a high level. I want to build my YouTube to a high level. It's other business aspirations I want to build. That takes a lot of time. But guess what? I'm going to still get on that plane. I'm going to still have fun. I'm going to still go out and hang out with the fellas. I'm going to still go on family trips. I'm going to still do crazy shit. That's just me, right? So I'm not saying live reckless or do anything like that. All I'm saying is if the what if is always there and one day it would show up, I would have experienced everything in my life already. So that shit won't bother me. And if the what if show up, hey, what's up? Hey, been waiting for you. I'm good though. How about you? All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. Peace. Have a wonderful day. I'm out of here.